Hello, sexy. Okie dokie. I need to. Oh, look, there I am. See me? Okay. I had my hair up. I took it down, so this is what you get. All right. So there was definitely some energetic. I always play with these things. Energetic things that I was experiencing and understanding before I came on. Let me just tell you how the morning went. So all morning I felt like, okay, I've got I was on a mission. Like I had several things I needed to take care of. Hey Terry. Oh, let me start it off. Welcome to WooWoo, where I am weird and we get woo-woo. This is coffee and tarot. So go ahead and grab your coffee, your spiced apple cider, your matcha, your tea, your lemon water. Settle in and let's see if there's a message for you today, okay? All right, fantastic. Here we go. So I woke up feeling like, okay, I've got things to do. And I kept feeling like I don't need any distractions. Like I felt like there's been a couple of days where it's like, when your energy, like your attention gets drawn here, there, and every which way. And so you're just kind of like, you feel like time slips away from you. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go do this, 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 and this. And I'm not going to stop until it gets done to make sure it gets done. Right. So there's like an agenda that I have a little bit. And so I am kind of like saying no to certain things. And I'm like, my brain's like, yeah, but you have plenty of time, really, actually, to do all of that. But I feel like I don't have the right amount of time. And maybe it's because I feel like time will get away from me and I won't follow through with something. And so it's the energy, because it was like I'm going for a walk. And I was like, you can go for a walk. I'm like, nope, I got to get this done. And I'm like, well, what? I'm like, if you like, it's the kind of thing where like I have certain things I want to get done, but like it'll probably get done by noon. And like, and you don't have to go until that would still leave you another 3 hours. You've got time, and it's like it feels like I don't. It feels as if I am eliminating any distractions. Like it's not one of those. Like my brain tells me you're good. You're good. You know what I mean? It's all good, but it feels like I don't. Like when you feel like a guttural, like, okay, I gotta do this, and like there's something about just following that feels better. I don't know how to explain it. And it's like, I would rather have this done. And then if I have time left over, so be it. So there's this sense of needing this either urgency. It's not even urgency. It is eliminating distractions, or like time has been getting away from somebody. I think that was the concern. But if I were to look at it logically, maybe I'm just underestimating something. I don't know. It was like I felt like I needed to do this though. So I just honored it. I was like, okay. Like, and maybe I'm feeling that way because they bring me back to when I said get prepared. That reading. Oh, we're going way back to then. There was a whole lot like doing some very tangible things external in your world. Like ducks in a row kind of thing, so that when something transpires, it goes smoother. So there's a feeling of needing to get certain things done. Like maybe I don't have the time that I think I have because there's other stuff that's going to come up and like distract me. And so I need to get something done. I need to get tangible, like things marked off your checklist. Like other things can wait until after this. And again, it is, you can logically, you have like a logical rationale where it's like, you're fine. You ain't, but you feel otherwise. Energetically, it feels otherwise. So I was like, oh, because I was even trying to I was like, I don't know if you would call it gaslighting. I was like, come on, like you've got time. Like, why do I feel like that? Because if I look at the time and the amount of time I've got to do with the tasks that I've got to do. And so there's something that needs to be prioritized, it seems like, to get it off your checklist, or to get it, say it that it's done and you're prepared. Something with that. So I don't really know what that is meaning. Hold on. I guess I got to light my candle. gorgeous candle. All right, here we go. So that's just like there's a push to, I don't know, get certain things checked mark and then you're good. And then, which wasn't that okay, so maybe somebody's not done with their checklist. Because wasn't that when I said prepare, which wasn't it last weekend? Before the weekend, or was it the weekend before that? Where it was like, get certain things done. Just go ahead and because when something comes in, it's going to be fast paced. And so there's like a level of, and I felt really like, oh my God, my nose. Yeah. So we are piggybacking that. So anybody who resonates with today may want to go back and watch that one, which I've got to put the title on it. It was not this past weekend, but the weekend before. So it's been about 10 days, 9 days. My apple cider like cooled off way too quick. So, okie dokies. All right, so here we go. So this is tied somehow to that, or maybe there's a little something in the last one. So why is it not done? We channel first. We get through the energy first, and then we pull cards. Does it mean a message is coming in? Does it mean something's coming in quickly? Why does it feel like I feel like you feel pushed to finish something, to take care of certain things. It's like errands, but it's not an errand. You know how like you have to run errands, I gotta take, it's kind of like that, but it feels like maybe some of it's not necessarily something you would be doing every day. That's why I don't want to call it, well, not every errand is done every day. Okay. Let me, why do I feel like do not focus on anything prior to this? Okay. Do I need to, don't focus on anything else prior to this? All right, so I feel two things. I'm like, why, for one? But two, if you've already given us this information, then what would be the next? Like, what was not done is the question. What was not done? Because we already said prepare. So what more would there be to do? What was not done, and why are we feeling the push to do it like this? Because I also remember, like, once you're prepared, like, then you can rest. I also remember, like, preparation for some people was like, go ahead and get certain things paid off, and then you can go and have some fun. Like, if it was a money thing where it was like, tend to all the things that are necessary first, and then do the other things that are not. That's it. Today, I was like, well, I can do that tomorrow. And I pushed it off till tomorrow, like going for a walk and stuff. I mean, there are certain things I felt like needed to be done today. So the things that were necessary, prioritized. So something about this is there's certain things that need to be prioritized ahead of other certain things. Okay, I'm going to pull from the Fallen Angel Oracle. Hello, Anna. How are you? All righty. So let's see what tasks need to be prioritized. What? And then we'll ask why. Hey, LP. Okay, so this is the funny thing. This is what I'm saying, like change and development. This is this card, change and development. So there's going to be a development. There's going to be a change that's coming up. I literally said what needs to be done, and they're going with the why first, I think, and then or they're recapping, then refreshment. So it's like do the necessary things, and then the other things that can kind of like. So there is a prioritization that needs to happen with somebody's stuff. Got danger of loss. which kind of gives the feeling of this needs to be taken care of. So when something else happens, everything's in order, right? So like you don't want to not be ready, not prepared. You don't want to lose out on something because you're not ready. But then we have choice. Like you want it to be a choice. You want to be prepared and ready so that it's something you can choose. It's almost as if you're not ready and prepared, or if you don't take care of certain details or necessities, that you won't have a choice then. Am I on the right track? Okay, one more. Vision and diplomacy. Okay, what? That one I don't. Vision, choice, vision. Okay, I was like, is it diplomacy? But diplomacy didn't. I was like, that totally threw it off because at first I was going diplomacy. Like I felt drawn to that first, but I'm like, okay, so vision. Because for me, it's like, the vision feels like something that you've seen for yourself, something that you've wanted. Because we did talk yesterday a little, like I don't feel like this taps into yesterday's reading at all. But like we talked about, the horizons card, where a vision is more like in the clouds. It's not something that's solidified yet. So it's like maybe a choice is going to present itself regarding a vision that you've had, regarding a wish or a desire that you've had. That one's curious to me. My candle's making all kinds of noise. I'm going to start with vision because I have a couple of things coming through. It is wanting someone to see something the way you see it. Like you need to take care of A, B, and C to bring a vision to life. Like let's say this, like let's say there's an investor coming or something like that for a business and you don't know about, but like if you are already ready, when the investor shows up and is like, show me what you got, like you meet somebody out and about and all that kind of stuff, and they're like, show me what you got, you feel prepared and ready to show it to them. What if your shit doesn't look so good? Your website looks shitty, like your books don't look good, you don't have a business plan in place. Like it's almost like you're gonna lose out on something. You won't have the capacity to get something then, right? Like they bring me back to that saying where like luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So you got to be ready for this opportunity. It's almost like you want somebody, like somebody can see your vision, like you want to bring your vision to life, so you need to act like it. You have some people will just have a dream, but there's nothing in the reality that says that it's actually something that they want because their actions don't support it. Like there's something like get something in alignment. Okay, so let's go here. I don't know exactly. That's the curious part. I'm going to pull cards first on that, and then we'll work our way back down. Okay, because everything hinges on, if you don't, you might lose out on something. So since we don't want to lose out on something, which is what I felt like if I don't if I put my energy into places that it's not necessary and then time gets away from me, I won't finish or accomplish what I wanted to today. So like, even though it seems like somehow you may feel like I've got time, like I don't know why that's important or whatever, it's important. So what do I do? We want this one. Where do we? It's got a lot of energy popping off on it. Yeah, Night Sun Tarot. I had to make sure. Hey, Kelsey. Six of Cups. It's like you want somebody to choose your vision, seeing it in a positive light. Okay, please help me understand. No, Shiza. Oh, seriously. Yeah. You want to have a clear vision of something. It's the idea and notion of, you know how like, okay, so Six of Cups can be like rose tinted glasses, like seeing something more favorably than what it is. And you're like, oh no, it looks great. It's great. You know, and it's the notion that this is what I always tell people. If it's for me, it will not pass me by. Bitch, yes, it will. People misuse that fucking, like, it's supposed to be like this euphemism to help explain. Like, I'm like, yes, it will. Yes, it will. Because then, you know, if you miss the boat enough times, your timeline trajectory and what's for you is going to change, because you're going to be so out of alignment with that stuff. So then technically, yeah, well, yeah, because you weren't in alignment with it. That's why, you know, but you were supposed to be in alignment with it. You were supposed to be. So like, I get the energy of like rose tinted glasses, of something being like, you want people to see this in a positive light, but like also you don't need to be seeing something like, oh, like you're glossing over something. It feels like it's not going to be an important detail, and it is, because then we have Seven of Cups coming out next to it. Like the idea and notion of it's going to look like you don't really know what you want to do. Like there's just this idea. Remember, I was like, clean house, do this, do that, and it's like somehow it's the like if you can't articulate and show your clear vision in whatever you're doing, then other people are not going to be able to see it clearly. And so, like, you know, people who it'll just happen. I just keep getting this. It'll just happen, and it's like, no, people need to be able to see, like, and understand what you're doing. It isn't going to just happen. Like, it's such a rarity for somebody to come along and be like, I see something in you that you don't even see in yourself. Let me give you this great grand opportunity, and it's like, okay, so hold on. Anything else about the vision? You want someone to choose your vision. You want someone to strength. It's like you need to hold true to your vision. Like maybe you feel like, okay, so they're giving me this. We'll get to it. Okay, guys, just stick with me. We'll get to it. Like sometimes we got to figure out the fallacy in your thinking before we can move on. Okay. So the idea notion, like you cleaned, right? And you're good. You got your house organized, you purge things, you're good. But then it's like, you think, okay, well, now I'm just going to wait. Well, in the time of waiting, things get kind of whatever, right? And it's like, don't let that happen. Keep things in order, keep things moving, keep things going and ready and prepared. Like you got to stay ready. So maybe something you've lagged on something, and it's like, get that done so that you can stay ready for this. Like, you know, it like staying, like being prepared is an ongoing process, not a one time and done. And maybe it's just saying you also need to get clear. Like maybe the lack of clarity is just really like representative of how unclear you are. Like if you, because you don't look so sure. Like I get the idea of like, you know, somebody who's like, oh, I started a bit, but they don't have a bit, they don't have anything, they don't have a clue. And it's like, nor have they put things in alignment. Well, it's like, do you really want this? Are you sure? Are you sure this is what you want? Like, are you kind of thing. I'm drinking apple cider today. Woohoo! Enjoy. Me too. Okay, well, let's pull it back out. I'm sure once we go through this is going to make more sense. So, what is it that they need to do? I'm going to use new air elements, okay? What do they got to do? Did they not do it? Did they misinterpret where they had to? We got two people here. We got two people. We got a King of Cups with the Fool card. So this is a new individual, a new energy entering in, right? We got the tried and true Queen of Wands. I'm sorry, they're giving me something. Y'all know when I do that in hermit mode. There's a difference between being in hermit mode and being in wait or being in allowance. They did not want me to use waiting. Waiting makes it sound as if like you're not doing anything. Being in allowance means you're still going, but you're open for something, right? So you're standing in your power, you're ready, prepared, confident, all of that kind of stuff. Give me some more on this. Okay, hold on. We're going to bounce around today, okay? That's what we... whatever this King of Cups is something that you're apprehensive about and not sure because of its newness. So, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We've got the Nine of Swords, cruelty, anxiety, worry, concern about something. But then it comes out with the Sun card, and they're like, you got no reason to be worried or concerned. So, okay. Talk about cryptic. What is... So there's a positive development that's about to happen that's going to be very refreshing. But there's a sense of danger of loss. Like you won't choose something because either one, you don't recognize it a part of your vision, or two, you're not clear on what you want. You're not holding true to your vision. The fuck? How does this got anything to do with... Who the fuck? Be clear about the King of Cups. Okay, one thing we is not do is we are... How is this? So somebody is still in the detached phase of something, of like... I heard unbothered. Oh, we are not going to do this. You're going to tell me exactly who to fuck. Okay. Certain things need to be a priority. So your focus needs to be on this. You think you don't need to focus on that, and they're like, no, you do need to. Or you will lose out on something. You may feel like you have time. that you don't got to be putting in applications, that you don't got to be putting in for jobs. Like, like I don't even graduate for another 8 months. Like, no, do it now. Or it could be, I've got plenty of time for love. I'll just push it off. And they're like, no. You're in danger of losing this, and you've got to choose it, right? You've got to make this choice. You've got to, and so you're pushing something off, but there's an internal feeling for you like or normally you're pushing it off, and something is going to spur you on to focus on the things you need to, versus like, I can wait. Like, you need to. Who is this, a person, or is this who is this? Who is this? Ace of Pentacles. We get it. There's a I feel like I'm in your energy, because I feel like you're like, what is there left to do? Like, I don't get it. What? Like, you don't know what to focus on. Like, I don't get it. Or it's been put into, like, you feel drawn to it. Like how I was questioning, like, why do I need to do that first? That don't even make no sense. Like, you're questioning the prioritization or the need for something, the necessity of something. Like, you feel like you're being pushed, like there's an urgency to it, but then again, you don't feel like there's an urgency. Like, you don't understand what the urgency of it is. Lord have mercy. Okay. Because this feels so like I don't get it. I don't understand this. It's not making sense to me, right? Because let me show you what I've got. I've got the King of Cups with the Fool. Now, you could sit here and be like, oh, that's a new person who has a cup of love to offer. Then explain this shit for me. Explain this. The fucking Death card with the Ace of Pentacles. What? Are you going to do the, oh, it's a brand new start? Well, that was explained by the fucking Fool. Why do we need the Death card here then? I know some of y'all be, well, how's she come to, let me tell you. Energy. Spirit fucking tells me. That's what. And I'm over here going, what? That made no sense. That made no sense. Ace of Pentacles with the Death. Ace of Pentacles. A brand new start in your life. Something tangible beginning within your life. It's like a new beginning. Oh, okay. Like a new beginning, something new presenting itself in your life that brings about an ending. See, sometimes we think something ends, like we got this like little, like there's an order, okay? You should have seen me last night trying to explain alphabetical order to my son, who I know after this conversation 110% has dyslexia. The social worker in me is like, oh my God, it couldn't be any more. Because people think that kids who have dyslexia or anybody just flips. No, the brain, in its ability to interpret something, will switch things around to make the most sense of something. Because something in a certain, okay, so we're trying to go like we're trying to put his spelling words in alphabetical order, okay? Like, there's always a reason for these stories. I feel like this is you right now. And so I'm telling him, I'm like, so we understand the ABCs. And so when he's like, first, not understanding what I mean by first. I'm like, which one comes first, B or D? And he's like, and he doesn't get it because in his mind, the first means the absolute first letter, A. What the fuck is you talking about? We talking a different language here, Mom. And I'm like, no. When we say first, so we talk about numbers. You know how numbers are always in order. And one comes before the other one. So he's already grasped that concept with numbers. And he's like, okay, yes, yes. So we go back through the alphabet. We write the alphabet out. I'm like, okay, so now when you picture it in your head, you picture it like this. Where does it come? And so it took a little bit for us to understand what we mean by which one comes first within the alphabetical order, because the alphabet is always in that order. He's like, okay. And so we start understanding which letter comes before the other one. Mind you, he's in second grade. He should understand this already. But of course, we're just going to keep passing him through, and no one really explains this because, well, he was able to memorize this word. He needs to understand concepts because his brain keeps like, wait, what? Like, you see how he assigns a particular definition, and so like he will supplant a new definition. Like, no, like he doesn't understand. No, it means this. The very first one is the very first one in the alphabet. What are you talking about? Which comes first? A. Like, none of the letters you're talking about come first, Mom. And I'm like, okay. So like his brain, am I making sense to you all? Okay. So then we get to the point where he understands that concept. So then we have to bring words. And I'm trying to help him understand. You've got to look at the first letter of every single word to do alphabetical order. I say, we're going to put the words in the order of the alphabet. Confusion. So we start, right? We start. One of the words is A. Okay, I got it. That makes sense. It's the first one in the alphabet, right? So we practice a little more. I got these two letters. Which one do you come first? And so we sing the alphabet and we go, as soon as we get to the first letter. Doesn't matter which one it is. Which one do we say first? And he's like, okay, so now we're doing the words, right? And he's like, so we're putting some things, and he's like, okay. He goes, but Mom, how come when we do my name, they're not in order? They're not next to each other. They're spread apart. And I didn't understand that. I didn't understand what he meant by spread apart. Oh, you mean when we look at the alphabet, when it's all written out, like from A to Z, how come T is over here, but A is over here, but both of those are in my name? There's such a distance between them. Very concrete thinking, right? Why are we putting the words in alphabetical order? Like, he doesn't understand how just the first letter is putting something in alphabetical order when the word itself has the letters all jumbled. I thought we were doing this to this. You see, there's very and it's like, so what happens with dyslexia is they will take the one thing, concept or idea or understanding or definition of something and flip definitions because their brain, the way that the slowness of the organization of a thought sometimes. And so to be quicker about it, they'll grab something and put it in its place. Good question, honey. Because we're just organizing the word, but with words, they go out of order. We don't have an order for that. I don't have an answer for you. I don't know what to say. So I feel like this is you looking at the situation like, I thought I did what you said. Why the fuck is we doing this? And how is this a thing when this, like my child was perplexed. I was like, I know it don't make no sense. And so then I can't teach him anything else because the entire time, this is when his ADHD kicks in, lost in his motherfucking thoughts. Let me just tell you. I was like, we'll come back to this tomorrow. Y'all feel me? But the other thing on it is he understands very conceptual things. But see, he needs literal when, how do I explain this? When you are using your frontal cortex where you're organizing. And he doesn't understand when This is a rule, but this rule contradicts this rule. Explain yourself, mama. Okay. Well, you said it always goes like this. So why doesn't it go like this in this one? Do we also know what that might be a sign of? Now, that is a sign of ADHD, but it's also the tizzy, autism. Okay. But the rule is this. You just explained it to me. What? And I'm like, oh, fuck. I know. Or let me give you an example of another one. This is important because this is how you're doing. This is what you're doing. This is what you're doing, okay? So we're trying to fill in the blank with our sentences. And he's reading the sentence. I showed up to school blank today. There were several words. There was 2 words that he pondered. I showed up to school early today. I showed up to school work today. Now, when you have certain reading difficulties, your brain will pick up on certain words rather than the entire sentence, because the order of the words in the sentence don't necessarily make sense to you. So you look at keywords and try to fill in the blank that way. But sometimes the words that you skip over give you the hinge, or the punctuation, the comma, the period, the thing tells you something different, right? He's not catching those nuances, because also his brain will flip things. So he saw the word work and thought worked, like past tense. Like, yeah, I showed up and did this because when I show up to school, I have to work. I got to do my homework. It made perfect sense. His brain will go to the quickest answer that makes sense. Hence why sometimes he sees a word that starts with 2 letters and he just fills in the fucking blank. Like he didn't even look at it. His brain goes, that. He said the word shut and it says show, but it has the sh on it. And his brain went, there's an answer. Okay. So he saw the word work, dyslexia. You flip it. You can flip tenses. You can flip all kinds of meanings. Like, you don't understand how in depth dyslexia can get. Now, his brain was telling him worked, like, I did, and it made sense. Everything made sense about that. And it does when you think about it. But his brain misses some of the clues. Oh, that's it. You're missing some of the clues. You're missing some of the nuances in this that are important. Okay, so you don't pick up on some of the nuances here. You're seeing the literal, like, no, I got time. And they're like, do you? Let's look at this again. Okay. So there's something you got to do. Because, like, basically it was, I showed up to school early today. That was the complete sentence. I showed up to school work today doesn't make sense, but I showed up to school worked today. See, like, his brain will automatically take out the unnecessary words. It's different, but it creates a massive amount of confusion. Okay. And he doesn't even pick up on that his brain is removing certain things and flipping it. And so he's answering questions. He's an exceptionally intelligent child. What the fuck do you not understand? I'm answering it correctly. Even you're like this. Like, I don't get it. I did it. What are you fucking talking about? I got to do this shit. I got something else. I missed it. Where? Why is that necessary? Why do I got to do it right now? Like, you're missing something. The spirit sees the entire picture. They get it. He doesn't know his brain changed the word work to worked. But when somebody sees something backwards, or you think you're seeing something correctly and you're seeing it a little backwards. You're not seeing it correctly. Like, dyslexia gets real in depth, what the brain will do. And it's all about processing. It's all about, like, it's way more than just flipping letters and things like that. And so I'm over here going, Oh, so I sat down with him. Do you think that anybody in his school up to this point has sat down and really paid attention to what his brain does and why at second grade he is still stuck in a kindergarten level? No. Even though I've been saying this. Oh, we're working on it. He doesn't even understand what you're fucking asking, which is why he does. Okay, Spirit, here we go. They don't understand what you're asking. They don't understand. They don't understand. So maybe you've misunderstood something, and Spirit right now is trying to explain it again. And this is the concept where we're like, okay, this right here. Okay, thank you. We've walked through it. Like Spirit's trying to figure out how, like the why of something. And I think you're stuck on like, this shit don't make no sense. You're missing the what and the why, which is what I said to begin with. But it's like, there's a nuance here. There's a nuance that we're missing. Okay. Oh, that almost makes me want to start over then. But I Hermetic Tarot. Okay. Oh. The nuance is there's a beginning before the end. You think your brain's like, oh, it makes sense. It'll end very literal and then a new beginning. And they're like, actually, the new beginning comes before the end of something. That's the nuance you're missing. And maybe that wouldn't make sense to you. Like, why is that coming now? Why is that happening before I've ever this? Oh, and that changes what I want to ask. You see how the nuance matters? What is it they think is going to end before the new thing? You somehow think that your transition, like there's going to be a transition. Like, usually there's steps to a transition. It feels ass backwards what's about to happen. That's amazing. That would be me. That'd be so fucking me, Trisha. I swear to God, I'd be like, do I have fossils? Do I have like crystals here? Like my poor backyard would be dug up. Like it's not even funny. Like seriously. Why? My hair up in the ponytail is irritating me, but it's irritating me when it's on my face. So this is the day. 4 of Pentacles. What is ending? What do you think is going to end? What do you think? What do they think is supposed to happen before the? Okay, I got an example. Oh shit! I could see why this is like. It's almost as if like generally speaking, the idea is you would like there's an order. Let's say there's a transition order. I got it. Well, to get a job, I'd have to apply for a job. Right? Duh. Then there'd be an interview. Then there would be another interview. Then there would be a negotiation process. Right? You kind of prepared for it then. Prepared. There's that word. You kind of prepared for it then. What if somebody just contacts you and offers you a job? Let's say you were applying for jobs in another state, in another country, right? So you think, I don't gotta do anything here. I don't gotta get prepared. I don't get ready. I don't even know how to get ready because I don't know when, I don't know where. All that matters on what I would do to get prepared. I've got time. And Spirit's like, bitch, no, you don't. You don't got time. You don't got time. Because what if you ain't even applied, you ain't even, and somebody just, it happens all the time on LinkedIn. All the time. Somebody reaches out to you and they're like, gosh, you look really great with this. Like, would you like to do X, Y, and Z? We need somebody. And you're like, because you would think, I need to find a oh my God, this just happened. I'm going to use one of our own. David comes on here all the time. And there's certain things that I don't want to give all his personal information away though. Some of us know he's already put it in the chats that he has started a new job. You'd think that certain things would be in alignment before he started the new job. Like you would already have a place and you'd be moved in and you would do this and you would do that, right? So if I think that I'm going to live somewhere else, like surely I'd have a secure home before I go the fuck up there, right? What if it's like, no, you got to come now? And it's like, it's out of order. There's not the process you would think. You think you got time for something and you really don't because the beginning shows up before you close something out. Wouldn't that be funny if like the new job showed up and it's like I haven't even put in my notice in where I live. I haven't even shut down any of my utilities. I haven't even packed. There's a beginning showing up before the end. And it's the beginning that brings about the end. Lord have mercy, I swear to God. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. 4-4. Four of Pentacles is this sense of let me pull another card because I feel like I've got this, but then I'm like questioning it. So hold on just a hot second. Let me give you other examples. Let's say you think somehow you'll get stable in work before you have a family. How many of us did that ass backwards? You don't have to say it. You don't gotta you know what I mean? Four of Pentacles and then the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands feels like some level of a milestone, some milestone you think that you should have. This is also like house. It's almost like it's sometimes it's like working hard before you get the celebration, the promotion, the whatever. Like what is, oh God, this is really difficult of a concept for somebody to get. Like I just want to be like, make it make sense, Spirit. And again, when I get into this energy, I just feel like once we get to the end of this message, it's going to make perfect sense to you. We fucking hope. And it's going to be like, that wasn't so hard. I think they're showing me how difficult it is for you to be like, what? Because you just don't see it. You don't understand it. Okay, so the sun to me would be celebration, same as the Four of Wands, the victory, the whatever, right? Knight of Pentacles would kind of remind me of the Four of Pentacles a little bit. It's about the stability, the security, the sense of whatever. And the security came out before the clarity. Oh God, I am struggling, guys. I'm struggling. And I feel like it's makes so much perfect sense, but yet it fucking does not. I'm like, you know when you feel like something's staring you in the face and you're like I feel like I'm one of my kids right now. It's right there on the counter. Where? What the fuck? Where? Like you literally, kind of like my son, he's looking at the sentence and certain things are just missing. And he's like, huh? What? And I'm like, explain. He's like, you're talking Greek to me, Mom. Could you get somebody here that is really good at breaking shit down? Because okay, this, yes. All right, I'm going to reset this. It's a long time since I've had a struggle like this. Please take me out of this energy. I felt like they were trying to give me different ways to say the same thing that I've already said. Like Seven of Pentacles before the Eight of Pentacles. You would think that you have to put in a lot of hard work and struggle for something to pop off, and then something can flourish. Eight of Pentacles, right? Like they're like, that's where your thinking is going. But I'm like, well, then what is the truth? What is the reality? Like what ending do they think should come first before the new beginning? Like what is it that they think they would have to do? What is out of order for them? Like I'm looking for details instead of concepts. You think that there should be a change in conflict or defeat? We've got the Five of Swords. Like something should be clear before you move forward. Knight of Swords is cutting shit away, having a major, like the winds of change. Like you feel like you're like this, you will not do this, or this can't come in unless you're certain and clear about something. So the confusion should not, like you need, like you're like, I can't just go and do something. I can't just do something if I don't what are you what? Like, how am I supposed to prepare if I don't know what I'm preparing for? Like something feels very conflictual. You feel defeated. Why would I keep working on something? Because Seven of Pentacles is a little bit like the Lord of Failure or success unfulfilled. Like it says in this deck, because you think nothing's popped off. Like why would I keep putting my energy and investment into something where something's not coming through? You feel like you should change. What? Stark 180 a change. Like you need clarity before you move forward, which generally would make sense, right? Because I always talk about with the Chariot card, everything needs to be in alignment with one another. If you're not clear on something, then you have aspects feeling like you're being pulled in two different directions. It's like being asked to prepare for something when you don't understand what you're preparing for. Like, shouldn't I know and understand something before I have clarity of what I'm doing? And they're like, fuck the clarity, it almost feels like. Like, you're not going to understand why you have to do this, or you're not going to understand this until afterwards. Like, it feels ass backwards. Like, you're just going to have to trust and do this. It feels like a mental conflict. Like, shouldn't I feel secure and set in something? Shouldn't I be of one mind? Shouldn't I, like, isn't that what's necessary for me to be able to move forward? Because like I said, I always talk about it. If you got two horses going in opposite directions, you ain't going nowhere. Then they bring out the strength card, fortitude. It's going to require, okay. I mean, you could at least give clarity on what, like, this is an ending in order to have the new beginning. But here it's like, no, you don't have to have an ending. So what was the ending they thought they needed? Like, I don't think this is so hard, Spirit. I don't think that's what they're confused about. Like, why is it so hard to tell me what the ending is that they thought needed to happen? Like, just get clear. Swear to fucking God. Two of Swords. I don't know, confusion. All right, I will not entertain decks that are not going to answer me. Okay, so fuck that. All right. See, this is Two of Swords is the Lord of Peace restored. The Lord of Peace restored. Like, you want to feel easy about something first. Like, you want the transition. Okay, so here's the thing. Whatever this is, it's not going to happen in a manner that you think it is. There are certain things that need to be taken care of, and there's a reason. If you feel called to take care of certain things, and you're like, no, that's it, like, take care of that shit, okay? There's certain things that need to be done to get prepared for something. Now, your environment, what's going on with you may seem like, I've got time. That don't make no sense. Like, why wouldn't, like, this would need to happen before that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't feel the urgency intellectually, like when you look at the situation. But there are certain things that are a necessity. It may not make sense why it's a necessity. And they're like, fuck you, pardon me, but fuck you needing to feel like it makes sense. Do as you're told is what I want to say. Like, they're telling you at this point, it's like your lack of understanding has stood in the way, I feel like. And you're at danger of loss. Like, shit will probably make sense after the fucking fact. Okay? So then what is it that they need to do that they haven't? Because obviously that's, like, it's almost as if your brain can't conceptualize it, so you don't know what to do. Does that make sense? Because, like, you think in very concrete, like I was talking about with my son. Like, oh, if I move, I would need to do these things. If I need to, so what is it that they're not doing? Give them a clue on that, and we'll understand that they'll figure it out later. It's going to make sense later. Okay, we're going to do Starman Tarot because something needs to be done. And if they're going to continue to say, look, you're just going to have to do this without it making sense, I could sit here for 10 years trying to make sense. And they're like, no, we'd said. Like, they're going to make an example of me. No, I said you need to do something. Oh, what is it? Did you remember the personal reading you did for me? And oh, shit, Mishka. I mean, maybe. That sounds so long ago when you say it like that. We've all been together for so long, right? Sweat turn off. Like sweaty Clara? Oh, y'all, I'm lost. This is why, like, I don't get it. Okay. That is the story. of okie dokies. Like, do you know how many times I want to just pick these cards up and be like, okay, I just don't like that is the energy. Whoever I'm doing this for does not fucking get it or understand either one, what they've got to do, or two, why they've got to do it. There's something very confusing about this particular situation, and it makes you just want to like walk away from it. You're like, and you put it off. Like there's something you're putting off. There's something that you don't want to follow through with that you're just like, it's too much of a, I don't get it. So you're just not going to. Okay, it's a level of separation from something. They got the Chariot coming out again with the Three of Swords, with the Strength card. Like you just got to move yourself forward away from something. You may not have all the answers on how or how it's going to pan out or how it's going to work out or how you're going to do it. Like you need to start preparing like you're ready to move. That's really what it is. It's like Three of Swords is a separation card. It's a separation. The Chariot is movement forward. It is a journey. It is going. That would be a move to me. And the Strength is the bravery to initiate something without like maybe somebody has to move first, like go to a new location before something will stop in your life. Like this could be like if you want negative energetic attacks to stop, like this should stop. You think that this needs to stop in order for you to move, but you've got to move first in order for that to stop. This could be I need to have the money to move first before I move. And it's like, no, actually, you won't be able to where you're at and get the money that you need. You need to move first, and then your poverty will stop. Like it doesn't seem logical. It doesn't make sense. It has something to do with this. There's a separating yourself and being willing to do that. Okay. And so I want to say instinctively, you know, the worst of it's, or like somehow, maybe you feel like what you feel compelled to do. We got the High Priestess and the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is like worst case scenario is over with, or there's no real need to be worried and concerned. It's the inner knowing that something's going to be okay when, you know what I mean? Because Ten of Swords is like, Nine of Swords is the fears and the worries. Ten of Swords is the worst of anything that could have happened has already happened. Like whatever fears that stop you, because you go from the 10 to the Ace. The Ace of Swords is the new path, right? Is the truth, the clarity, all that stuff. And so there's a sense of like, leap of faith energy, like the Fool card, leap of faith energy. Leap of faith. So if we have like, again, there's a change that happens first and then a refreshment. And you're staying stagnant, not making the change, which puts you in the danger of losing something. So you need to choose this vision. You may end up losing out. Like you are not taking some action that is necessary. I sure hope whoever this is understands it. Empress and the Two of Swords. Yeah, the Empress is something about your abundance hinges on you making this decision. And the Two of Swords is doing it intuitively, not logically. So there's something that is that draw, that push. I feel like I need, like I said earlier, I feel like I need to do this. I don't know why, because my brain says otherwise. And it's like, you need to follow that hunch. You need to follow that gut instinct to take care of those things first, or to follow through with something because something's going to happen that's not quite in order. It's not going to be a logical, makes sense. Ass backwards is what they're saying. And so it's all like, there may be something you have to, and it may be like, I don't know, I heard like you need to initiate the change, maybe. Chariot, Three of Swords. But the reason why the Chariot was first is because you got to be willing to move forward and separate from something. And I don't know, but it requires bravery. It's the second time the Strength card came out, and it came out with a Seven of Cups. Yeah, it's not clear. You just have to trust. Remember, Six of Cups is the hope and optimism. So where does, because I got to be honest with you, King of Cups does not feel like you. Where does King of Cups come into this? Four Cups of energy. You haven't acted on something. The cup coming out of the cloud is the etheric nudge, the intuitive, the spirit-led hunch, the whatever it is. You're not quite acting on it. You're not doing it. If you're getting a hunch to do something and you feel like I should secure the, it's like, I'm going to be honest with you. There's times where it's like, I feel like I need to focus on the things that are going to pay me before I come on here to do tarot, because that makes sense, right? Because tarot doesn't pay me as much as other stuff would, right? I mean, I get paid for it, but like when I do YouTube, I don't get paid for that shit, guys. I don't get paid for that, right? And it takes up a lot of time. And there's times where I'm like, it doesn't feel like I probably shouldn't do that. I need to go do X, Y, and Z. You know, those things. And then whatever I have left over, I would do, tarot. But I constantly get pulled to do the tarot first. Like there's something about you need to do, you know what I'm saying? Like Four of Cups is acting on that hunch that you're being guided to, that intuitive hunch from spirit, because even though it doesn't make sense, like you need to act on it. So there's something you're not acting on that you've had an intuitive hunch about, period, point blank. And it's a part of your preparation for something. King of Cups. I swear. Queen of Cups. King of Cups, Queen of Cups. I feel like somebody's got to be fighting with spirit on this. Like you are rationalizing the shit out of why you can't do something. Like you're just flat out ignoring this, and you're at danger of losing something because you're ignoring spirit on this. You're so focused on what could go wrong. All right, let's get real simplistic with this. What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do? We have a lot of communication cards here. Well, we have 8 of Wands, Page of Swords. There's a level of information communication. We also have Page of Swords before the Hangman would be like doing some research on something before, like while something's not currently not happening. You may think, why would I look for X, Y, and Z? Because nothing. I don't have any reason. I don't have any reason to do this. We have the 8 of Wands with the Moon card. Something may be revealed really fast, like really soon. There may be a message coming in really quickly. Why do I feel like the more I pull, the more I get away from what it is that you should be doing? This just feels, the energy is really weird. I got to be honest with you. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I don't feel like, whoever this is, you don't feel like you're getting straight answers on anything. So you choose not to do something. Because logically, if they can't give you a straight answer on something, then my brain says no. Like, why would I do that? And it's like you would do it because there's a change that needs to happen, a development that's going to happen, and you need to be prepared for it. Like a change or development that's waiting to occur. Like whatever the change is, you don't need to be afraid of it. But I'm like, if you don't even know what the fucking change is, how can you be afraid of it? Like, what are you talking about? Maybe it's that you don't, maybe they're not saying get prepared. Like maybe they're saying there's something that has to, that needs to be prioritized and needs to be done beforehand. So like there's something necessary to happen and you don't see it as such. It's going to be a-okay. With the Sun card coming out with that, like whatever separation happens, it's not bad. It's almost like Spirit telling you, because we did have like that message was connected with the High Priestess and the Empress. Like Spirit's telling you something. And maybe something in your environment says exact opposite. I'm going to go out on a limb, guys. And I hate to say this because you got some real codependent people out there that are like, that's mine. And I hate to do it. It's almost as if like saying, hey, somebody's supposed to be your person. You're like, and we want you to get prepared and ready. I don't know why I'm thinking of this example. We want you to get prepared and ready. Okay? Get out there, have fun, open up, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, that person's with somebody. What's the fucking point? Like we're gonna have you all pass each other's, cross each other's paths, and I don't know. It's like it would be that kind of a fucking scenario. Like what would be the fucking point, Spirit? I don't get it. Like just trust me. It'll make sense afterwards. Like, does not feel like things are in order there. But if things are happening out of order, know that that's necessary. You don't see it as necessary. You don't see certain events as necessary. You don't see some actions that you need to take as necessary. It don't make no motherfucking sense. It's not going to make sense to you. You have to have the bravery of following through. It's like feeling like somebody's supposed to be for you, and then they start dating somebody else, and you're like, okay, whatever. Like the idea of like you let go of the idea that they're for you, like, whatever, right? Which I think is a part of you need like it's like it needs to be okay. Like if something feels like if you're being taken away from something or something's being separated from you or you are there's some move that's happening, it's actually for the better. Like some development is going to happen and it's like you wouldn't put it in that order. You don't even see how that's necessary, but it is. And the only thing I question is, okay, what about the preparation? Because it was feeling like there's something I need to prepare for so that I don't miss out on something. Because there's a danger of loss here. And so if you're telling me no matter what, I'm going to be confused and that I don't need to understand, that I just need to kind of like do, fine, great. Help me to make sure I'm clear on what I need to do. Because we started out feeling like I have a million examples and no real understanding of what this is specifically for somebody. So this is going to, if it resonates, it resonates. You're going to feel a little bit called out, like, you know what I mean? How do we make sure we don't lose out? Like, what is it? Like, what is the preparation that we need to do? Just lay it straight. What's the preparation that we need to do that's not been done yet? Obviously, you're going to feel called to do certain little things. I think that you're meant to act on your hunches first. You may feel like you need to put other things in front of your hunches. Your hunches need to take priority right now, okay? That's step number one. There is going to be a development. You feel like that's bad advice. We got the Seven of Swords, or that's futile, and it's like, why? Why? Like that's. Sorry, I'm like. It almost makes me want to just like say forget it and pull different cards because it's like the idea of like thinking a path isn't being productive and spirit tells you to still do it and you're like, why? It's not doing anything for me. And they're like, look, it may not make sense yet, but just do it. So at the heart of everything, we've got the 10 of Cups. Whatever this is ends up in immense joy. You need to be ready and prepared to make a decision. We got the Judgment card with the Hanged Man. They want you to be ready. Hanged Man is all about you put yourself out in a different position to see something differently, and you like you got to be in the right mind frame, the right set, the right stance in order to be able to answer this, because that's what we got, the choice and the vision. You feel like something is not like there may be something new. We had the Ace of Pentacles earlier. Now we've got the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is some chance, opportunity, potentiality, okay, in your life, potential path in your life that seems not good. Like, I don't know. Like, why would I take action towards that? But it's being prioritized right now. Kind of like the idea with the tarot that I just gave you, or like, why would I even be concerned about love when the person that I thought I was supposed to be with is like not even remotely available? Like, why is that even a concern on my radar? And they're like, look, I know it doesn't make sense, but just fucking do what I say. That's what it is. Because it's ultimately leading to your happiness. Ultimate happiness. And like I said, I feel like these are hunches. Like, you feel drawn to stuff, and maybe that's the problem. Is like today, I felt very drawn to do certain things, and make sure that I prioritize that before other stuff, so that I don't get distracted from it. Like, if I'm not following through with my hunches, that might put me in a place where I lose out on an opportunity or lose out on something. And to you, you're like, this seems like a futile effort. Like, I shouldn't be doing this. Like, you start to rationalize it. And so you may talk yourself out of following some of your hunches. And so they're like, please follow your hunches, because we got and we understand it doesn't make sense right now, but it's going to make sense. It would be like doing charity work instead of like spending your time going. Some people think it's stupid to go and do a free internship somewhere. They're like, why would I do that? Like, I need a job now. And somehow it's like, rationally, whatever your hunch is telling you, you feel rationally is like not accurate. You're like, why? And so you're going to be called, let me put it this way. You're going to be called to do something you think your mind's like, that don't make no sense. Why? And you just need to follow your hunch. Because there's a change in a refreshing, we'll call it, change or development that's meant to happen. All right. I have given up on trying to figure out who the King of Cups is. But basically, whatever your hunches, they're leading you to make something a choice for you. Okay. So like when you get this intuitive pull or nudge or something, you're like, that nagging thing that won't go. You're like, okay, fine. Like, do it, follow it, do not ignore it. It's leading you to an opportunity. It's leading you to a choice to enact a vision of yours, to whatever it is. Because initially I was really thinking this was like something like, and it could be still for somewhere. It's like, if part of what you feel pulled to do is going to create opportunity for you, maybe it's as much as there is another energy here. There's another person involved in this. I just don't know what role they're going to play. Because I don't think Spirit's focused on them. They're just focused on what you need to do. You need to have faith and trust in yourself. Like, sometimes you feel like you need to defend what your choices are, your decisions. But this is going in the direction that's right and true for you. There's some choice. There's the Seven of Wands. It's more like protecting yourself from all the different, because over here we have the Seven of Cups with the Five of Wands, and the lack of clarity is a struggle for you. But this is like being true to yourself. Like, you can't ignore what you feel called to do. And maybe something you feel called to do, it just logically does not fucking make sense. But they're saying keep doing it, or do it, follow through with it, because not doing it is the danger of loss. Then we have the Four of Swords. It came out reversed, which is weird because I don't do reversals, and I'm feeling like it's still reversed. 4 swords would be like taking a moment, taking the pause, taking a break, setting your, you know what I mean? Kind of like what the walk would do for me. And they're like, no, because change is fast approaching. Got the 2 of Pentacles, the change in your trajectory, the opportunity is going to present itself. So now's not the time to be lax. And it's like your hunches are leading you to do the things that get you prepared for this. Now's not the time to be relaxed or take time for yourself or to do a timeout or pause this in any way. Like they don't want you putting a pause on anything because change is approaching. But I wish I could tell you what it is that your hunch is, but for whatever reason, it feels like they won't fucking go there. But I can just tell you, it behooves you to go after what, I don't care if it defies logic. I don't care if you think like somehow it's like, if you don't do that, you might lose out on an opportunity, is what it feels like to me. If you feel called to go out with a friend, do it. Yeah. Like I should be doing the, like, it doesn't make sense to you. Like I should be, like, it doesn't make sense. Whatever you are called to do, if you get a hunch, if you get a pull, a little niggle about something, you need to follow that. Even when it doesn't make sense, even when you feel like there's contrasting things happening in your environment, even if logically you can be like, I need to do this, you need to follow those things. Okay. Period, point blank, just do it. This could be like, you're meant to go out with somebody, like somebody invites you out and it's like, you feel called to do it. Like, oh, I should do that. Like it's just something about it feels right. But then your brain says, oh, but you got X, Y, and Z happening and you need to do this. Or like, you shouldn't be going out because of this. And it's like, rationally, it's like, it's not that urgent. Duh. Like you don't have to, but you feel like you need to. Like, oh, I'm supposed to do this. And it's like, that's not really, you know. And it's like, if you don't go, you might miss out on meeting somebody. And the diplomacy part is like, like when you do things by the book, things are not being done by the book right now. Okay? Not being done by the book. Like the steps, the order and stuff like that. Yeah. So. I sure hope this leaves me immediately when I get done with this, because I'm just telling you what. Yeah. I hope I summed that up really well for you, like at the end, because the whole ride was a shit show. And that's what I feel like you may feel like things are just like right now. Those hunches is your preparation. Those hunches are the necessity. Okay? If you find yourself rationalizing something that you feel like, oh yeah, oh no, it's like the idea of like not going somewhere because you gotta study for something. You know, no, it's like, no, follow the hunch. But you'll feel really pulled to something. That gives me a headache, guys. Okay. I don't know who that's for. I hope it finds whoever it's for. I hope it makes sense. I walked into this with some powerful energy and things showing up beforehand. I was like, oh, okay. And let me just tell you. And that's the thing. I feel like you're going to, like, there's going to, that's the thing. There's going to be a moment where you're like, oh, this is going to make sense. You're going to find yourself in a position where you're going to choose something other than doing what you feel called to do feel drawn to do, and it's like you're like, no, like for no logical reason, this feels important. I've got to do this, and I need to follow through with this. And like you're like, what? But it leads to an opportunity. That is like whatever you're being led to is a part of the preparation. That's a part of being prepared. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna hop off here because they got a headache now. All right. Hope everybody has a fantastic, wonderful day, and I will see you later this week.